All classes.
And how we're promoting.
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order for Southern Guam Soil Water Conservation District Board Meeting. Today is April 23rd, 2025. The time is 4:06 p.m. and we are conducting it here in person here at the College of Natural and Applied Sciences, room 202 at UOG. Could we get the roll call?
Right, Chairman Michael Uggan,
Present.
Vice Chairperson Glenn Takai,
Present.
District Director Glenn Dula,
Present.
District Director Martha Tenorio,
Present.
District Director Yvonne Manglona-Waneza, present. Everyone's
Okay,
here.
everybody's here, so we have a quorum and we'll proceed. Item number 2, acceptance of the meeting agenda. We need a motion to accept that.
Want to do the staff? Roll call for staff?
Oh,
roll
I'm
call
sorry,
staff.
I'm sorry. We'll backtrack. Go ahead.
All right.
Sorry,
so
guys.
District staff, District Administrator Erica Pangilinan. Present. Program Support Specialist John Tanuvasa.
Present.
Conservation Technician Madeline Flores. Present. Project Director Geraldine Datwin. Present. Conservation Associate Deline Pangilinan. Present. Conservation Associate Jonathan Borja.
Present.
Okay,
And then we have. Okay.
So that's.
we have a perfect attendance today.
As always.
And hopefully, we get our NRCS and our advisor to show up.
Mr. Chairman, Mark Acosta, our advisor, is off island right now.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Soda.
Okay, good. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Thank you. No word on Jaya.
No worry, but I'll message him.
Okay. Well, we'll just keep going. We'll go to item number 2, acceptance of meeting agenda. So we'll need a motion if you guys approve of it.
I move that we approve the agenda as published.
Okay,
One second.
second, okay. No discussion on it, no other inputs, no objection. So without objection, so moved. Thank you. We'll move on. Number 3, approval of the minutes for March 19, 2025. And we need a motion on that one also.
Move to accept the minutes from March 19, 2025.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on the minutes? Any objections? Without objection, so moved. Thank you. And we did forget to acknowledge that Savannah Garcia is here from Northern Guam on Zoom. Is she the only one up there?
Yes, for him.
Hi, Savannah.
Hi, Savannah.
Hi, thank you for having me.
We didn't,
Welcome.
we didn't see your face, so I didn't catch it. Sorry. Well, welcome to our meeting anyway. Okay, moving on to where we at? Through the midst, so we're done. Number 4, treasurer's report.
Alrighty, going through our account balances. In the general fund, there is 100,820, well, did I say that right?
Mhm.
$100,821.94. Stress grant account has been officially closed because we've met all our deliverables and yay for us.
Hey.
For the TA 2023 grant, $11,118.74. Feral swine account, there is $4,456.65. In the GACD TA 2020, that's 22,000, I'm sorry, let me repeat that, 23,873.61. There's a little asterisk here.
Right, we're still waiting for the Northern District to return their funds so that we can complete the pending action with
Okay.
the GACD,
Yeah.
so maybe,
Do you have the exact amount for that, Erica?
yes, I have the exact amount. the exact amount is. One second. $3,406.62
406.
106.
2,406
and 62 cents.
62 cents.
That was
So that's pending.
maybe since our Northern District liaison is on the board, she can.
Yeah.
Help you do that.
I'll follow up on that. Thank you.
Thanks, Savannah.
And that's it as far as the accounts. Some other information from my report that we did have to order more checks, so that has been done recently.
Okay.
And that's it for my.
Thank you, Savannah. So just to elaborate on that. So once we receive that payment from the north, then we will consolidate it with what's up pending here in our district, and then we will make the transfer. So that's
Okay.
so that you can give them that feedback there, that's what we're waiting. That
Got
way
it.
it'll return.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need a motion to accept treasurer's report.
I make a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. Any comments, inputs, or questions about the treasury report? With no objection, without objection, so moved. Thank you, Martha. Okay. USDA number 5, USDA NRCS District Conservation. She's not here at this time. Or, yeah, so if he does show, we'll allot him some time
Okay.
for that, so. Okay. Moving on to number 6, Southern District membership updates.
Okay, I'll go ahead and just start off. Madeline went ahead and sent to all the directors the listing of the members to be approved during this board meeting. We're hoping that we can establish that protocol, and for any discussions or questions regarding the list, to send it to Madeline. But otherwise, the farmer listing has been vetted and is ready for approval, unless there are other concerns. But you should have received it in your email.
I hope I sent it to her. You guys haven't.
Did you?
Yes, I reviewed it already. Nice to, is that our first
I think we're.
group or organization? You have a Wahan Sustainable Group.
Yeah, our first nonprofit.
Yes, yeah.
I'm sorry, what's that?
It was our first nonprofit as opposed to individual
Yeah,
farmers.
so
That was
we
like
have,
our first group that
As a member?
everybody else has been individual farmers, right? Everybody else is.
Oh,
So
I
Guan's.
didn't see that, did I?
That's Jay's.
Yes,
here.
that's the first.
Yeah, change it. So
Oh,
Ken, Ronald, Dave.
What were those, say again, those emails were the new ones?
Yeah. I've been sending it, like, we're gonna do it through email now instead of
Okay. But they're still pending.
approval from today.
Today, yeah. So we have 6
Oh, and then you'll
basically.
do the.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So we're gonna vote on that, for what?
Yeah, I mean, if there are no issues with
Yeah, it seems like
our
these guys are all-
applicants.
Okay, I move to accept the new members to the district. Wahan Sustainable Culture, Joseph Salas, Ken Uggan, Ronald San Nicholas, David Tydinko, and Dora Cruz.
A second.
Okay, thank you for that. Any other comments regarding the membership update? None? Any objection to any of them? None?
Welcome.
Okay, without objection, so move. Good job.
What's our total at now? 40s now, right?
So
Like 43?
49, 44 now.
I know.
4?
Good job there, man.
Good job, Maddie. Go keep
And,
getting them.
Whoever went
Keep
out there.
corralling them in.
Okay,
So, or is there anything further? Okay. Just wanted to add really quick, as part of our initiative, the soil health initiative, all new members who sign up with us receive a soil test. And we are aware that the University of Guam is currently right now still in search of, or final, to you, Dr. Dilla, do you know what's the status of the soil scientist?
Well, Dr. Galabi retired,
Right,
but the lab still runs.
Yeah,
with-
Ferdinand just sent me one last week, or this week.
Yeah,
Clancy and Ferdinand have been doing their.
so Maddie is primarily coordinating that initiative, right, for our new members. And I guess we're kind of, I want to ask the board if you think that we should establish some sort of formal partnership in which this initiative is recognized by the University of
I
Guam,
think we need to find out from you, OG,
right?
because
So,
right, that would be the first step
I
too.
mean, I know that we're partnered and
Yeah.
I know the vice chair, we're able to work with Joe and Mark in the extension
Yeah.
group, and which is great. But I guess just having it kind of elevated to know throughout the college and our efforts that this is.
So
an
you're saying
actual
a more
initiative,
broader,
maybe recognized by the dean or whatnot. But also just kind of detailing out the rules and responsibilities, so we know that.
well, you guys are paying for a service, like it's the soil lab charges for this, which you guys pay for.
The first one only. Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, there's already like obligations with that service.
So is maybe an agreement or some sort of something written down, I mean, because we are paying for it, but isn't it more than that, like we are facilitating, no?
You know,
So what
because
then,
anybody could just come in and say, hey, I'm gonna get my soils tested, and they'll just pay $20 for that basic that we do.
so then it's more so an internal process.
yeah.
For us to kind of just keep following up and, to ensure that the end result is to get the farmer or producer a recommendation from your team.
Yeah,
CEO, and then after that, it's kind of,
because even without us, right, the extension office, that's their job. When they test it, it goes down to extension, and then one of those guys are supposed to interpret it and then make recommendations to the farmer.
I think that,
We're just paying for
right,
that basic.
okay, so Maddie, did you have any?
yeah, that's the one that's not really clear, is that the extension is not the ones doing the soil.
Oh, that should be clear. That should be within their here. Whether or not they're doing it is a different story, but if you were to ask, for example, the extension office, at least when I was working at A&R, that was their job. Was second, third floor, right? Second floor is the lab. Third floor, they lobby test it, right? And Clancy kind of does the stuff, but when it comes to the results, those results go down to A&R. Well, it's not A&R anymore. What is it called now?
Extension and.
Extension outreach. So then from down there, the extension agents, the guy that like interprets it, and then he will connect with the farmer and then make the recommendations.
I-
Like, oh, you should be doing this, you should probably put this,
Right.
you know.
I think we're just running into like, when we're working with soil lab and they're saying, oh, we're just kind of not there. On
Yeah,
whose role
like-
is.
Okay,
That-
so maybe we could maybe Mark being our advisor and being extension,
yeah.
maybe he can clear that up on their end, because that would probably just be something that they're just not efficient on their end.
Right, so
But I
that,
know that that's their,
that was just really the basis of bringing that forward, is to kind of get clarity on the process, when the soil test is done, who does it go to, when does it go to, and.
yeah.
Well, the
Well,
soil
Dula might
test
even be
goes
interested in
to the farmer, whoever paid for it. Yeah, it was a service that Extension did. That's because it's their job, but like once Clancy or Ferdinand is done doing the analysis and the results are there, their job is done. Like
Yeah.
they'll just get the results. The farmer can choose not to bring it down to Extension to get the interpretation. He can interpret it himself. But again, that's not the soil lab's
It's not their
job.
Yeah,
Right.
So like if you want to have like an official, like some sort of MOU or MOA, it has to be with Extension, not WPTRC.
yeah.
That's another.
At least
thing.
that was when I was even working there, so, and I worked for both WPTRC and I worked with Extension. So both I've experienced, but I know it was never their job to,
Right.
once they do the results, that's, I mean, they.
Well,
go.
I also just wanna even elevate our district, right? Because this is an initiative. We are, the goal is to build the capacity of also soil lab and run soil tests frequently or as our new members come in. So I think that's worth the recognition. But
So
Yeah.
who drops the sample off? Maddie?
Maddie,
And then who retrieves the data from that?
well, soil lab will do their thing
Mhm.
and then they will give us the soil results.
Mhm.
And then because we.
And the
pay for
farmer,
it,
and the farmer.
I don't, is it to the farmer or we
Yeah.
distribute?
Like
it?
Ken got his last week, I got an email from Ferdinand and Ken got it as well.
Okay,
Now, I interpreted it for him and told him what to put in the field, but Joe Takaro could have done that, Mark could have done that. Dula should be able to do that,
Yeah.
Roland Kittiga should be able to do, they've done it all those years, it would be Dave Chrysostomo, those guys, Frank Cruz. It was always them when I worked down there for those guys.
yeah,
They would receive, actually, they would actually take the stuff, I remember this. They would take it and drop it down at the counter down at A&R.
mhm,
The soil, the actual soil and also the paper that they turn in, and then one of those extension agents would interpret it. They
alright.
would call the farmer. Now, things may have changed today.
I mean, we do have our own SOP already established in which it is just that and that. We just
But I remember
listen.
you mentioned that you were willing to
Yeah,
interpret it for.
Yeah,
for-
which I was, and I offered that. So I offered like at any time, like for example, if farmer X got their results, if they weren't available, I can do it. Like this is what your pH is and this, this is what your phosphorus is, this is what your potassium is, da, 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 and these are the things you could do. And that's what I did for Ken like 2 days ago. So Ken planted on what, Monday, I think?
Mhm.
Yeah, so I told him like, this is how much of this you put, and this is why. Stuff like that. But otherwise, that's what the extension would do.
I haven't got anything, any interpretation from extension.
Oh, okay.
Are we involving
Yeah.
ourselves in learning those interpretations or keeping that as data as extension is providing an interpretation? Or do we want to keep that as,
I think we should keep the data, like that'd be really good data to put in our maps. Like, okay, so this is nitrogen poor soil, this is whatever, highly acidic soil, we should be mapping that stuff anyway.
Does your office do that without us? Do they actually do that or no?
Well, Clancy and those guys keep the records, but they don't.
No, but the recommendation piece, they don't?
No,
No, I don't know.
like, well, once you pay for it, it's like,
Yeah, no, I'm just wondering if like, for example, like who's there now? Joe or Jesse Bomba. Like if he makes a recommendation with the farmer, do they keep that stuff in a file or anything like that?
oh,
or-
I have no
Yeah,
idea.
like if they have a database.
Again,
all the
like,
soils
I don't know
tested
whose
and-
job it is to interpret it. But
Let me check.
We can
sh-
AI
I'm
interpret.
sure he'll know.
we-
so that's my thing.
Upload
is
it to
If we want to keep that
ChatGPT.
data, then I think we need to either beef up our own process
Yeah.
but again, everybody who's involved in the project needs to, like,
Yeah, I think we should request, Bob to formalize it if that's the way you want it. But yes, come from Bob, not from WPTRC.
I feel like timeframes are important because sometimes they're waiting for a while. You know, like the farmers, right?
Again, because I don't think it's anyone's actual job. People just do it.
And I understood that differently, but like I said, I can't speak to I know the law, right? So I can't, you're right, I don't know that for sure. But I'll tell, it was SOP when I worked here and that was in the 90s to the 2000s.
Yeah, but it was assigned to someone, like, I don't know who it's assigned to now.
But yeah, so I know that the scientists would do it. But then they always sent it down to A&R. That was SOP.
Mhm.
So,
Okay, so I guess we'll work further with Mark and,
and I'm texting Joe right now to
Yeah.
see whose responsibility
I
is
just
it.
wanted to bring it up.
Ask him to give us a little input on what we should do, how we work that.
And we're at 43 or 46, 44 for farmers, and we've
Yeah.
only done 14 tests.
Samples. Yeah.
Results. That's
But how many have submitted?
submitted.
Right, like did all of them submit and we only got 14 back? Like how many actually submitted?
Oh, we submitted 14 soil samples to the lab and we got the results back.
For all
Well,
14?
That's good.
Okay.
For 11 and I'm still waiting on 3. But I haven't gotten any soil interpretations yet since like January. For the
Okay.
11, that's the result, the test
Okay.
is done.
But we'll look into it further, don't want to take too much time, Jay is on. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, the good discussion there too. Okay, moving on to number 7, old business.
Oh, actually, Chair, do we want to backtrack then to number 5?
To where?
Jay's online now with us. Do we want?
Oh, I didn't see.
Yeah.
Good eye. So we'll backtrack to item number 5, for the NRCS District Conservationist, if he has any reporting or anything. Jay?
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for sending the Zoom link. I don't really have much updates other than we're still continuing to move forward with the applications. We're kind of behind on the first round. We haven't been able to move past our quality assurance reviews. So what's happening with that is out of the selected applications for the first round, equip and CSP applications, there's a 5% check. So they pull certain applications and they do their quality assurance. So they want to make sure everything's in line. So before we can move forward with getting signatures from the applicants and obligating the applications for funding, we need to pass those QARs. So right now we're actually, the deadline was last week Friday, but they gave us a little bit of an extension. So we're working with that now. And so far, out of the 7 applications that we've been selected for QAR, the first round, we've gotten through 4. So it's just a matter of little checks that they have, like errors on our maps, maybe working a little bit on our what is that, job sheets. And then we've been running into some issues with lease landowner concurrence with the Chamorro Land Trust. So this morning, I had a meeting with the acting, I guess, land agent supervisor, because they were doing checks, and we've had a couple of landowner concurrences that they did not want to sign off on due to their findings. One of them was that one of the properties, also what they mentioned to me was that part of the responsibility of Chamorro Land Trust leases is that when they get the property, they need to get it surveyed. So I understand that's, I mean, I've done for my, personal property, and that costs a lot of money. Are we gonna, is the district gonna kind of look into a way to kind of help this, the lessees, get past this, thing where, because now they have I guess they have new members on the board, so now they can have quorum, but they're going through their rules and their laws again, and saying that they're finding that a lot of the lessees are not in compliance. So this is going to be an issue for them when they apply for our programs, because they can't get landowner concurrence. So one of the big issues is getting the property surveyed. So that I thought that was just something that I would like to bring up and see if the board could figure out, how we can get around that, or if they can talk to the board, the Chamorro Land Trust board, and see if, that's something that they can work around. And then another problem is that there's some properties that are unregistered, meaning that Chamorro Land Trust was leasing it out, but they didn't have a full record of, I guess, control of it. So that was one of the issues again that we ran into. So that's some of the problems that we're having with some of our first rounds, but I'm just waiting for them to get back to me this week on my requests for the ones that are in QAR right now. So I'll let you guys know what the status is on that. But so moving forward, we're also starting to work on the second round, but So again, we've run out of all of our funding for Equip Classic and also our local fund pool, the Guam TCP funding. So, because we've had a large amount of applications for this year, that's something that, is going to be considered. So we'll have to request more money for this next sign up, and which leads to for the extra equip applications that we have that didn't get selected but are eligible, we're gonna have to defer those. So we're gonna offer that to those applicants that what they want to do, if they want to cancel the contract or just wait and have it just deferred where it would be automatically roll over to our next sign up. So that's forthcoming. I'll be sending those letters out to the producers. And then we still have CSP money. So we're gonna go ahead and move forward with all the CSP applications we received for our second round. So that's good news. We're still going through those. They'll have to go through our assessments to see if they make it or not. And then again, we have lots of money for the Equip Joint Chiefs. That's the only Equip funding pool we have available with funding for this second round. So we're only going to be ranking only the Joint Chiefs applications. And then we've got I just received 2 phone calls this morning. So I have 2 new people that are interested from the southern area for Joint Chiefs. So Amanaswa, our planner, has already set up site visits with them. So hopefully we get those 2 additional applications for Joint Chiefs. So again, we're gonna have our cutoff the end of this month to accept for the Joint Chiefs.
They're not coming to
And that's
us on the applicants. They're not coming to us.
We did like a outreach to the mayor's office a few days ago. And we gave Jay's contact number and
Yeah.
application, and then they contact him.
So it's either or, but we provide.
Yeah, so I
No.
so though that was the result, the 2 of them, I guess it's working. Just I guess they hope they start calling in this week. So yeah, that was a result of that. So thank you for that.
Yeah, Jay, we're going hard. We put up the video and we are advertising it, and then Maddie has also dropped applications down at the Inalahan telephone at the mayor's office, and she will also be at a satellite location Monday, Tuesday during stewardship week, ready to help people sign up. So it seems to be going good. We're getting people are going into the mayor's office and picking up applications, so that's really neat. I think John wanted to say something about CRTC.
Oh, yeah, so I've been trying to figure out land management and also with BSP what would be the best way, so to do the mapping for the fencing. And when I went to land management, I went to land trust to talk to them about is there any way if we can help, if the issues you're saying where some of them there's issues anyways, the board has quorum now, and then in May, they're interested in someone from our board going to the meeting to discuss.
I think that's
I think that's you.
the lieutenant governor has asked for you to, well, I think,
Even
just
that,
in conversation, or
just
John.
more land trust board meeting. I'll go with you to that.
Yeah,
I think May 2nd.
To talk about.
yeah, he was messaging me, the lieutenant governor, and then I was working with Clint Ridgell, right, and so. We were Bob Barber is also supposed to join me in that meeting, or join the soil district for that matter. And then we were just waiting for their board to get into play. So Roy Gamboa I spoke with him maybe about a month ago, and he told me a few things. I think I reached out to Jared in regards to that availability, but we were waiting to see what was gonna happen with them. So I'm in that thing, but yeah, now that they have quorum, I think we could
it seems like an opportunity where we could step in and be like, you know, we could help you and then they'll, you know, work with us and trust us where it'd be easier for.
Yeah,
Build a relation.
Yeah,
And I definitely recommend John to
Yeah.
provide that support, being that he's already kind of doing mapping.
I think we're like on year 10 of the same thing, year 15 or something like that. So it's.
I have a question though about land trust, and our membership. How many, do we have a number of Chamorro Land Trust applicants or members that,
I believe we have that information and just kind
Maddie?
of get it.
do we have any, how many of our registered farmers are part of the land trust thing, do you know?
Not too many, most is private,
Mostly private?
yes.
I think we had a couple today that you just
That's
confirmed.
That's
I know at least two for sure, phase.
Can you, are you
I know
collecting
there's
that
two
info
for
also?
sure.
Two for sure.
I can get the numbers, but
Yeah,
I,
as of today,
there's
for
not
sure.
many,
Okay, but it's good to know who's on that, because that's a separate category of, or class of, property, you know, ownership or whatever, control.
We do ask if it's public or private. I guess for the next meeting, Madeline, those are good metrics.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
okay, I do that.
Yeah, but you know, remember, there's land for the landless, and then there's Chamorro Land Trust, so.
They're doing a whole bunch of stuff. They
Yeah,
said something.
and Arendo land is another, so you should distinguish between them. So we know, cause they have different requirements and stuff like that.
She said something about it was before, they have other programs that are before the one now where
Yeah,
they're trying to convert it. They're also trying to do like a full inventory of the south. I mean, of the whole island,
yeah,
the agricultural ones.
it's okay, the self is like.
Yeah, just the south. Okay.
Sorry. Okay, well, I think that completes our Southern District membership update.
Anyways, Jay, that's everything, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's all I have.
Sorry about that, brother. Thanks for that input though, and I'm glad you're here. So we'll move on to, where were we? Was it old?
Oh, we went back up to
business?
Jay, we
Yeah.
went back up to because he.
Yeah. So we're back to old business, right? Number 7?
Yes, but I think for Jay, really quick before we move on.
Oh,
We're interested in approving the conservation plans developed by NRCS for the Southern District members, so. Maybe by next meeting, if we can get more guidance. So we can officially incorporate that into our protocols.
Yes, yeah, I have, so when I was talking with Jara and then we were talking about, kind of like PII stuff and all that things, and also developing plans for producers. You know, I was looking through my notes, but I have a kind of like a one pager where it's almost like an MOU or like an agreement between the farmer and the farmer and the district. So I can share that with you guys, and that's something maybe you guys might want to look into and adopt, and you guys can put it into our files where, you know, it's kind of nice to see that they're in agreement with the district reviewing and signing off on the plans.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jay.
good. Okay. Old business, Erica, 2025. You wanted to, you know?
John has
Yeah.
a report.
We'll make Johnny first start, and then I'm gonna just add to it.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Can you stand up in front? No.
so yeah, the CIS, Conference on Island Sustainability and the 2025 Guam Educators Conservation Symposium Summit happened 2 weeks ago now. And overall, it was a pretty good success. I've heard nothing but good things from the teachers. Even throughout the conference, a lot of them were expressing a ton of gratitude for being there, for having the opportunity to attend the conference, and having the new possibilities opened up with all the partners that they were introduced to. Miss Eloise Sanchez, who is our instructor for the PD 894 course, was able to send out a survey for the teachers to fill out, and about 11 of them out of 15 completed it. And so she did put together a little presentation. I can send that to our board members because it's just a bunch of like what they were all saying, but overall, it was all positive stuff. For the options where it's like excellent, average, poor, most of them were excellent. There was only one respondent that was like good, which is just one down below excellent. So, besides that, they also gave some feedback on things they
I
might
wanna
want
be
to.
in that teacher's class.
It was good, it was all right. So yeah, the teachers have, been really positive about their experiences with the summit. Moving forward, those who are taking the PD 894 course with Miss Eloise. They are meeting with her tomorrow afternoon, and I'll also pop in just to support her as she needs. And then they're gonna meet again May 2nd, which is the day before our gathering.
For their official submission of
Yes.
the member.
Yes, so they're continuing to work on their documents, their deliverables. So to speak, for the course, so their lesson plans, their service learning projects that we got a little insight into during the Shark Tank session on Friday.
Good.
Yeah, the evaluations are really good and helpful to us as we move forward with this initiative.
And they'll be ready for the presentation or whatever is for in the gala.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so just to add to that, I just want to add that it was very successful in my eyes. We had practically every school from the southern areas represented, from every village, whether it was a middle school, elementary or high school. So altogether 15 teachers were part of this. The presenters that were there for day one were outstanding and excellent. They really provided our teachers with so much resources and contact numbers and contact individuals for them to go to. And so I want to personally thank those presenters for being there. And as well as the staff as well and the whole team. Everyone was just out there supporting every single day, and it was so wonderful to see everyone present for the field trip when we went out on the field, and then also at the conference itself at CIS. And it was just lovely. Everything was, I could feel the excitement from the teachers. And then the presentations themselves with the Shark Tank, lots of great ideas that came from the teachers, and some of them are just so like we could help them so much with, they're asking for so little. It's just such that teacher mentality, like I think they're mamala to ask for the moon, but they could have. So many of, some people just want to hose.
Yeah,
They wanna
garden
hose. So I'm excited to go through, when they finalize their activities, to go through that and see who are the, who can we help right away and what can we adopt and push that forward. But all in all, it was an excellent 5 days. It was worth it. There was a lot of long hours and lots of time that was put into it, but it showed in the end. And everything from just the little details, like having them wearing those beautiful pins, to the way they showed up every day for the conference, and they looked so professional and they really represented our program so well. And they were there for all the breakout sessions and everything like that. It was, Viva, they did
Good
great.
job,
Yeah,
everybody.
good job. Good job, team.
So it's still, I mean, technically the course is
Yeah.
still ongoing.
Yeah.
It's May 2nd, they get their certificates
Yeah.
during the gala. But yeah, one of the evaluations, they would like to see follow through and.
Yeah.
With their DMED lesson, plans, or if whatever support that. they can.
Yeah, so I am interested to see what they
Yeah.
wrote on that.
I actually think based on hearing their plans, they're really, some of these guys, not all, but will actually do it. So that's the real, is conservation gonna happen?
Yeah.
Cause sometimes we'll do these education summits and all that stuff, and then like, thank you, and then you never see them, they don't do anything at their school. These guys,
Yeah.
they have
Yeah.
plans, like I saw their lesson plans, like,
Dude,
dude,
that
that
was our goal, actually.
Yeah, our
to
goal.
See
Is
them
there-
implement something.
Is there a way for them to share that with, like, openly share that with other
Yep.
teachers so that they can copy, mimic?
Could we
I
put
think part
some
of
of
the
that on our
deliverables is
website?
that we follow up on these
Yeah.
programs.
Yeah, and if we do, like our staff, let's say they keep connection with them, like, for example, let's say we get that one school a garden hose, which will probably give them more. That means she's gonna do what her plan was, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, when we've already hit up 2 schools already, we've done, of course, mine's always there, but then Talafofa Elementary, and then there's also these guys, Ederon Elementary was ready to go. It's like, if we really do just give them like bare minimum stuff, we're talking like, you know, a couple of like planters,
Yeah.
a watering container, just seeds, seedlings, even, so, and all their resources are here. They'll
Out
do
of
it.
all of them, I think the most difficult one to get going would be Saint Francis because of what he said
Yeah,
about
there's a
their
lot of
limitations.
restrictions, yeah.
So we need to find a way
Well,
to do
We
that.
did our radio interview.
Yeah.
and This one teacher called in.
Mhm.
and said the
Containers.
container
Yes. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
5 gallon.
So I have some photos of that from American Samoa.
Yeah.
The vertical guard
Garden.
thing, and then also the use of buckets for other
Yeah.
things. So that's kind of something that they could use there at that St.
Yeah.
Francis, because they're so limited in their area.
Yeah.
So,
I want to add that this is or was a pilot program, meaning that we do see doing this every year or every other year at least. Part of that plan includes having the cohorts come back and share what
What
their
they may
experience,
have
you know,
done.
so they become the experts and the presenters for future educators who end up coming in, and
but we also want to put them on our
Oh, yes.
website, right?
yes, definitely.
Some, their school.
Yes, and then that way we can continue to have them part
Yeah.
of our group. And then we also see expanding this the next time we do it, whether it's next year or 2 years from now. And we want to see more private schools come into this opportunity, because I think they don't really get, you know, that kind of, although from what I understand with the Eloise, the problem that the private schools have is they don't really have that kind of substitute teacher or funding, you know, like to cover when they, so we need to find if there's a grant or something that can help the private school teacher be able to attend this kind of workshop.
Mm.
And that's the reason why so many of them really
Oh,
opt out
okay.
from
Mhm.
participating, because they don't get,
They
they
didn't get-
totally
yeah.
don't get paid at all
Yeah.
for participating.
Did we have someone from Mariso attend elementary?
Johnny?
No.
Martyrs
They
Memorial.
didn't, because I spoke with Rebecca and she said she's gonna try, but the problem was they didn't have coverage. If that teacher left, they didn't have, so they said they were gonna try to find. So, saying that would be something we could look at, maybe if we could find something to plug them, like somebody that can, like a substitute, right?
Yeah.
That can be there, and then we can have the teacher actually go and attend, so we got some good points for
Well,
that.
we were able to secure the admin leave. From
Yeah.
But again, it's just.
It's
like you
the
said,
physical covering, yeah.
Within each school, it was whether or not there was actually somebody. that
Somebody
could
physically
cover.
there,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I see, yeah, I see what the problem is there, and,
Yeah,
yeah.
but it was a great first year to do this cohort, and I see it just getting better and bigger every time we put it together.
We're gonna have more school.
And also, yeah, and one more shout out to CIS conference for co-sponsoring that with us, and they really provided so much of the things that we, you know, could not have done without them, like the rooms that we had and the food that was so delicious, and
The bus.
yeah, the busing.
So yeah, that's the
Yeah,
smart thing.
that was
Yeah.
that was such a great idea to piggyback on top of the CIS, and it also allowed, again, our cohort to go out and, you know, when they join the breakout sessions, that just added
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
information and knowledge to the repertoire.
I did meet one of the teachers at I think it was last week. I can't even remember where, but it was something that we had to do. I don't know, did we have something last week?
Was it
Somebody-
at the end of, was
I
it the?
forgot where it was, but
it the final social perhaps?
no, it was outside of the
Oh,
whole thing. And the teacher came up to me and she was like, hey, you're this and that, and they're like, I can't remember her name right off. I remember her face, but yeah,
The field.
so
trips
they
were so
really did
good.
like it.
Yeah.
They had fun,
They
I
did.
think, in there.
You know, I don't know if the evals was our district or the evals was strictly UOG, but I received all the evals from those teachers. And
Yeah, because it was under the CIS, that's what.
yeah, so I would say that the top, I mean, I could share that with our district and give that data, but the number one, probably the highest one was, what was the best thing? Was them saying, we physically got to meet
Yeah.
the farmers and we got to go out there and see it.
Yeah,
I was
Not
gonna
just
say,
from-
that was the best part, was them going out there and being there, and then to experience it, like,
Yeah,
you know, when they ended up marking the papaya trees and planting and, yeah. So
Yeah.
next time we come to your farm, just have them pick some doni as well.
Yeah,
so they
sure,
They
sure.
can experience that.
I did, well, I told them to go and pick for their plantings, and they were slamming all those ones at the bottom to pick to
They
take home.
loved it. I was so proud of them. Like, and
Yeah.
when they planted the trees over at the Masu, right?
Mhm.
I was like, wow, they were.
Well, I will say John did a wonderful job in capturing day two, the tour, so he had some great stuff. We'll send that over.
Sure, sure.
But we're going to showcase that during our
Gala?
gala.
Nice.
I'm so excited.
And I'll throw those evals to you guys, because I don't know if that was just me that got it, or, because it was all the tours, like Bavacos, Bananas,
Oh, right.
that was their eval. I don't know.
Oh,
Forward it.
yeah, the-
I'll forward it to you guys, whoever.
So we're talking about the gala also here, right?
Yes, that's further
So
down.
I just wanted to, I had my executive board meeting, was that this morning?
When is it?
He's a busy man. Our chair is busy.
Yes, this morning. And so I did ask Gary, our president, to provide a video for Stewardship Week. And, for us, and then I mentioned that it would be great to share for all the districts throughout the country. And they really were like on board, that they jumped in, they were really happy that they kept saying, thank you for bringing that up. That was very, so they're really, and he's already jumped the gun. He said he'll be in DC on Friday. Remember I told you, so he's ready to do it right there for Guam. So, we gotta get to that. He'll do a message for us here in Guam for our Stewardship Week thing. And they talked about doing it more broader messaging out, so.
Can you imagine Gary Glayer from Mississippi?
Yeah, here he there.
Everybody that's there. Yeah, so it's gonna be nice. And we have a really good LED screen from Doucet, in which.
Yeah.
It's part of the menu fee,
Yeah,
so it's gonna be worth it.
awesome. But otherwise, anything else to add then? to
That's
the-
just a great job too. That's what I want to
Good
say. Great job, team. Yeah. Great job, yes, that's it. Yeah.
Total team
Yeah,
effort.
great job. Yeah.
I'm always like, hi. Always providing directions, thank you. Dear Marty.
And good job, John, on your.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And Johnny.
And John,
Yeah, he got all them schools. I was like,
Day. On that.
So she helped me a lot with the videos.
Right on.
I wouldn't have, she's all this stuff.
and see, that's what I've been talking about, all of you, the staff here, guys. When each one of you were hired, I was there and Erica was there deciding to hire, right? And that was a big thing I stressed to you guys about teamwork, right? Helping each other out throughout. And this is what happens when you do that, right? You have great success for
Yeah,
everybody.
yes, good.
So keep it up, guys.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Okay, well, we got again.
Well, we are old
Chair, where we
business,
at?
old business, letter B.
So we are winding down our TA 2023 funding and getting ready for the TA 2024. So I am in communication with Mark, and right now we are working on getting the MOA established with the University of Guam, as they will be seen as they will be administering this grant. Mark will be the PI. That's the update for now.
To going on to C, NACD Executive Board Leadership Americas, okay. I have a problem there that I lost all my notes from the thing, but let me see what I got. I was just trying to. I did ask Caleb, but we got a new job now, so we're not a priority. So our trip, right, it was mostly, every day was up in the air, really. There wasn't like, a lot of things kept changing or, stuff. So a lot of the planning that we did didn't really come through the way it was supposed to. So there was a lot of adjustment. We did hold the meeting with everybody that on American Samoa that has some kind of interest within the district operations and all that, and what's her name? The one that came to Guam,
Molly.
Molly, yeah, so she ran that day or that girl's pretty good, and she's tough, too, she telling everybody, right? She really worked hard in getting the thing going in Samoa, right? And she's like ready to hand it off. But there was a lot of enthusiasm in keeping it going and getting it going. And I think the biggest one would be the lieutenant governor. Did you guys, I remember I sent you guys their
The
thing
radio.
that they did on the radio, the news or something? Man, that would be good to just share. I don't know if you guys have all heard it, but we were barely gone and they put this thing out and they talked so much about what we did there. And how, they're gonna be involved in the NACD and their district, getting their whole district operations going. So I did a presentation with Erica's PowerPoint, right? The one, what did you call there? At the Utah, so I used that, right? And we kind of modified it a little bit. So we talked about the district functions and operations and things like that. And then Caleb talked about the broader NACD things, the programs available via NACD. And the fact that they were offered 2 years ago $50,000 of what do you call it? Seed money, so to speak, to get it going, he told him that it's still available. I haven't heard back. I'm pretty sure it's a go. They were really, everybody was really into it, so I think it's happening. And then, of course, JB was there talking about NRCS. And that was just an afternoon session that we had. We went to visit several farms and there was a lot of successful small-time farms there that were really good. And we met a lot of good people. We met some guys that they were really, really knowledgeable and so many things that, like the taro planting and the different varieties and finding the one that's something you like, cause their taro was decimated from some virus or something.
By Top Truck.
Yeah, and then they did some research. I think they even got some taro from Guam, if not, or Saipan like that, and other places, and then they generated something that was resistance to those things. And every house there basically has outside a little garden, bananas, taros, mandioca and stuff like that. The place is really beautiful. And the people are super friendly. Yeah, so it was great. But yeah, there's a lot of people there that the farmers that we went to a chicken guy, and they're very knowledgeable on what they're doing there. And it's mostly what do you call it? Self-sustaining type of operation. Then we also went to a small island that's just off the coast. It's a small island, but it was it's not like small, and we hiked like 4 miles within that place through the hills. We saw like fruit bats and everything else. And the one thing I asked them, because we walked, like I said, we did like 4 miles. And you know how many spiders I saw? One.
Wow.
One spider. And that happened right after I asked him, where's all the spiders?
And it wasn't Spider-Man.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't my grandson either. Some did. But yeah, we were going through that, everything was like overgrown, the trail was untended to, right? So we were like stepping high over the grass and everything, going through the jungle. And then finally I said, wait, there's no spider webs or anything like that within this whole thing, right? So when we took a break, I asked them about the spiders, man, they didn't like, what's wrong, you know, they didn't. But I said, on Guam, you can't even walk 10 feet without running to all kinds of spider webs and everything else. But I figure, you know what it is the birds, man,
Oh, yeah.
the birds. Cause they had a lot of birds out there. But yeah, I only saw literally one spider, and for me, I don't miss things in the jungle for sure, right? And after I asked that question, I went about 100 feet, and there was the first and only spider that I saw, the only one. So yeah, totally different from Guam. Even the mosquitoes, they were complaining, but I wasn't complaining about nothing. I don't think we really had any mosquitoes. But yeah, man, it was, they had fruit bats all over, so they really take care of their place, and, the fruit bats were even in town we're at the restaurant, and they're literally like right here on the tree, the bandanas tree and all that. They're flying in, so really nice. Anyways, for us, you gotta go? Okay, thanks, man. But we need to connect with them, I think, as part of the Pacific. So that's something that, they were really happy to know about Guam too, and what we've done and all that. And we should connect with them so we can all support each other in our island efforts out here. So yeah. Yep. But traveling there is, you come for a week and there's no shortcutting that trip. And if you decide to stay longer, it's gonna be another week.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's beautiful, beautiful. I loved it. The food was good. Yeah, it's good. We had a family that hosted us on the beach, and they did their own. We barbecued. I helped them.
Meeting 2028.
Yeah. So. Yep, that's it. I guess I can't think of any more. I asked Caleb to send me the report, but. What's her name? Kim was supposed to forward over to me, but I didn't get it in time for our meeting here today, so.
It's okay, we'll go ahead and await that, and you report it out here, we can take from that and we'll send it out to her. And also at the same time, this is a reimbursable expense by
Yeah.
NACD, so we'll work on getting that.
Yeah, yeah, you should get that going, cause it's already a month, right? Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Thank you.
Chairman, for representing. Sounds like a-
Yeah, it was actually good, and
Yeah, I know.
the
like,
presentation
I've been
there
wanting
was
to go
really,
to Samoa.
no, the presentation was good. You'll be impressed. It was really fun doing that, talking to them, yeah. And then when I said half a day, right, and they were just still like looking at me, and then I said, Talofa, right, John?
Yeah.
Talofa, then yeah, John.
No, Samoan,
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
I'm half Samoan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, I thought it was Hawaiian.
Talofa.
Thought, yeah. I know.
Okay.
And then my friend, see Brian, right, cause his wife's Samoan, he sent me a whole bunch of, a whole vocabulary list of Samoan words. But yeah, it was nice. That play, I saw more tundras there than here in Guam, I'm telling you.
Wow.
They're all driving tundras.
Oh, Tundra.
Wow.
And the topic, the topic.
Tundra.
Actually, things are cheap there.
What?
They're
Even
cheap,
gas?
yeah,
How?
yeah.
Yeah, how?
I have no idea. We kept trying to, every day on the road, that was our discussion. What is the financial thing, what makes this place run, right? But, their family units is still strong, right? So we concluded, I mean, there's no other thing, is that it's a family support. And when you go off island, they say you can go to college, or you're gonna join the sports, right, football, whatever. And so those guys, I'm assuming they they do that, they send money home. There's no other way when you look at it. The only big industry there is the tuna.
Hmm.
And I think that was like 1,000 some employees, but that still doesn't equate. Like everybody driving Thunders, man. That was a car, man. I mean, everybody, there was Thunders, there were literally everywhere. But yeah, the cost of living is like way down, much better than Hawaiian.
I know somebody who
Yeah.
drives a Tundra too,
I know.
a big white one too.
That's why they fell right at
That's
home.
right, he knew where he was at the end. That sounds fun.
Well, we went to McDonald's right after we got there. It was in the middle of the night. So we kind of got there a little bit ahead of the crowd because everybody after they left the airport ended up at McDonald's. But man, it's so funny. You see like 10 or 20 Happy Meals in one order.
Like a small birthday party for us, we.
That was so neat, man. It was really neat seeing their lifestyle, man. That made me remember when we were young, back in those days. It really did, man. It was really nice, man, to see that. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
That's really.
for real. That was in Rohan, like way back,
Yeah.
people wave at you, yeah, all that stuff.
Field trip just to go to McDonald's. Hey, wow, we get to go to McDonald's, right?
Yes.
So I'll go back there anytime, you guys. Okay, I'm done.
Okay,
Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Great, great. Is it
Where are we at?
letter D.
letter D?
D. Okay. NACD spring flying. Now I didn't go to that one, so you
Yeah.
two got
Right
it.
on. Yep.
Chair, did you wanna start us off?
Sure, well, we got out there, we were able to get a couple of meetings in and, the funny one was that, we had set up a meeting with our congressman. And, which they were gonna take us in, yeah, and by the time he had gotten out there, he had to fly back to Guam, cause, Secretary of Defense Hegseth was here in Guam.
Yeah.
So we were out there and they were over here, right? So, but we did get to meet with, I think his name was it Mike? Siak.
Yeah.
Siaka. Yep, and I realized later that I had his card, like I met him the year prior. But the other guys were not there to staff, but this guy pretty much took over all the things that, Guam, basically Guam's been, whenever we come out and advocate, so. They got all of our stuff, the message was still the same, like, just kind of hold on. We kind of still waiting since the transfer of, what is it called, different administration now, right, from the Democrats to Republicans.
Transition.
Because, yeah, so we didn't really get anything much further, to be honest, but neither did anybody else really. But at least we had a couple things that were in place was the, what is she called, the one for ag now, the, Rollins, right?
Yeah.
So we have, Rollins was now already in and approved, I think, and during that time, we also had, was it Betancourt, who's now gonna be the chief of NRCS? And I think that was communicated at your your executive board meeting. So I was able to sit in for in place
Yeah.
for you and more of the stuff, like I can now see all that planning that you guys have to go through. Like you guys are already looking at like 26 or 27.
Oh, we're already in 29
Oh,
today,
okay,
this
see,
morning.
there you go.
20.
So we did do that. So I would say it was a successful meeting. Ari and I were able to give our one pager, still advocating for the same things, like, don't forget about this, don't forget about that. The farm bill was definitely still up there. We were able to do that, but another exciting thing we did was the following day, we actually met with CNMI's congresswoman, which is Kimberly Hines, right? And that was pretty fun, like
that was a fun one.
that was a fun one. She actually knows my mom and dad. So she was like, "Hey, boy," all that stuff. And so, that was really, really cool. And so, I think Ari and I were really, I think it was very beneficial for us to meet them because we were able to kind of highlight some of the things that we're doing in Guam and how we helped CNMI get their districts, going. And she wasn't there during that time, right? I think they had it was a changeover for their congressperson as well. I think it might have been Keely, I'm not sure. But anyways, the stuff that we shared was something definitely she's like all in. She's like, we're gonna push for that. We're gonna make sure we're advocating. And so, yeah, and it was stuff that was very helpful for us to give her. right? Because she wasn't very, I wouldn't say she wasn't aware of it, but we helped make that something that she was gonna say, we're gonna make sure we push on this, and we partner with Guam, right? So, yeah, so that was very, very successful in that, like, so we had, our breakfast meeting thing was kind of, same stuff. How to have a successful visit on the Hill, things like that, and then our networking and partnering was still the same, so. Yeah, the only thing we had to do was just kind of wait out, and maybe Erica could fill in some things that,
Well, it was great. We were able to meet with our congressman's office representative, tell him the story of the districts. We told the story of the creation of the districts as well to Congresswoman of CNMI. It was well received. We did attempt to meet with NRCS's acting chief Louis Aspey, just to say off a day. But he was on travel, and then we did attempt to meet with his chief of staff Coleman. But it's very, very busy. They were very busy with all of the transition ongoing, but ultimately, I know that last time when we flew out, we had a very busy schedule. We do recommend that for next time, we have a concerted effort, especially with our Pacific Islands, to include American Samoa to meet their Congress representatives.
Right.
If in the event that representatives from the different islands can't make it out there, I think it just shows that we kind of all experience the same issues. But, and to tell our story and to advocate for what the conservation priorities nationwide, that's the key, right? So that way we're all, when they're
And
in
our
session,
view of it.
yeah, they know what we're asking for. And then they can work together amongst the different, on conservation. So that's our recommendation. And also when we attend the NACD annual meeting, that's the time to start looking at coordinating the meetings for those spring
Yeah.
plans with the department heads, and kind of solidifying our issues or our talking points. But Jay, I hope Jay's still on. Have you had a chance to learn of your new chief of NRCS? Has that come down the pipeline or?
I saw that I saw who she was, but I didn't get a chance to we didn't really discuss anything like that, so we're still in the phase of trying to understand what our reorganization is going to be like.
How are things on your end in terms of all the changes? Are we?
We're still waiting on more news. Other than that, it's just they're just calling it a reorganization, and that's that's all they have for us right now. And they're just kind of like going back and forth on like office space and all that other stuff. But other than that, it's just business as usual, and we just wait and see.
Yeah, so this fly-in is not the normal fly-in.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a transition, right, from the two presidents, two parties, but being the Trump came in now, he's like really turning things around, turning upside down, so it's even more than abnormal. And, we'll get through that, but by next year, things should be more stable, and I think that we could probably have a better more productive fly-in trip there during that next one. So, and then, those guys too will already have their feet in the wet and, and they know what's going on at that point. So I think that's where we're gonna we'll be more impactful than Brown.
But I think we still want to ensure that we try to get the chief out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we did meet up with Aspie at least. At least he personally came up to us and.
So, yeah, if that chief shows up in our summer meeting, that's definitely the time to start building that relationship there. And then getting them. And of course, working with Aspie, right?
Yeah, cause he stays no matter what, right? He's there for,
Yeah.
and he's got a real good relationship with us, and
Yeah.
yeah. As a matter of fact, he sought us out. that, you know, he came to us first.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's our friend for sure. He promised that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Anything else, Erica?
It's still a success. We even met with Curtis from.
Oh, yeah?
RCS and
Yeah.
engaged with him for some recommendations, so it was good. It was, you know, still a successful
That's right, yeah.
meeting and
He
flight.
lives in DC now, right?
No, cause he's central region, yeah, he's not one of the, yeah, but he was in Idaho, right?
I see.
Coming to Guam. Okay,
Speaking about
Okay.
coming to Guam.
yeah.
Moving on to E, the Pacific 2026 Pacific Region Meeting Planning Committee.
Ooh.
Update on planning committee formation and next steps, identifying event leads and time. So yeah, we need to start talking about that and working with the north to create a committee, right? To facilitate all the planning and everything for this. So
We need to blow this one out and.
Yeah, I think what we wanted to do in conversation with Sherman is just kind of maybe we put up our own working session first. Kind of get aligned on what we'd like and then engage with the norm.
yeah.
But to formalize our own planning committee and working with them.
So Savannah, you're still there, right? Savannah?
Saf?
Yes, I'm here.
Sorry, we're not trying to keep you out of any of the conversation.
Sorry, my kids are watching music videos back here.
So, yeah, maybe, you know, when you go back to your northern district thing, you can talk to them about figuring out some kind of a planning thing that we want to collaborate on.
For the selection committee,
What was that?
for the perimeter fencing selection committee.
Oh, no, for the 2026 Pacific Region meeting.
Oh, yes, okay.
Yeah, yeah, so can you talk to them about that and you know. Trying to see what you guys wanna do as far as starting the planning process and getting things going?
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, and then you know, we'll get in touch, right? We can communicate that and we'll try and start something. Hopefully for sure by the next meeting timeframe, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, what month are you looking at? Are we looking at?
For Pacific region, I think we usually, it's like
September.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
like September.
Preferably the beginning as fiscal year.
I
ends.
think the earliest was in August,
Yeah.
but that's too close to the summer meeting.
Yeah.
It was that one meeting, it was like 2 weeks later was the Pacific, so that's why we're in September now, so. Yeah, it is in September, we're gonna have it, so. So yeah, so maybe, what is this, April, so maybe the May, after you guys and we have our May meeting session, right? We should be able to come together somehow,
Yes, okay.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else there, Erica? No? So moving on to new business, stewardship week activities.
All right, stewardship week is in effect soon, starting with our pre-event this Saturday. Thank you, Vice Chair, for leading the demonstration site event and putting in all that time and effort with the University of Guam to set up our first ever conservation demonstration site featuring the Pearl Sign perimeter fence. So we're just trying to get the word out, no registration required. We're just encouraging everybody to come and check out the nursery as well as the perimeter fence and the banana farm that will be established there. So we are gonna help in providing support, cultural support. So it starts at 10, starts at 10. And you all have the agenda in which was shared on group chat, so. Moving on to, we do have PSA videos, the public service announcement videos. Which we do every year in partnership with KUAM. So John has shared the videos in which I shared with you. Please provide your input. It does have to be the kind of the frame, not the landscape frame, but the other kind of framing for, because it's gonna be primarily aired on social media. Unless you want the landscape version also aired during prime time or news. So it's an option to have it both on social media as well as cable TV during the news.
Mhm.
Was that free? No, it's not. It's about $1,900 additional. So, but it'll air all throughout the week. We have 7 videos lined up. John and Dave have been working really hard and engaging our community members. And it's looking very, very nice, as you can see.
Yes,
Mm.
yes.
First one, we'll definitely fix that typo there, but, please provide input if you're happy with the creative direction. Or if you have any recommendations, but that's pretty much our PSA for the first 2 days. So thank you, Jaylene,
Yes.
for kicking us off. Bear Rock.
Yes.
Yeah.
That thing was nice.
That would be the first one that would go, so I think we just need to also decide whether we want the videos to start going out on Sunday or Monday.
I was just gonna ask you that, so.
I need to hire these guys for my own video stuff, man.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I'm like,
Sunday or Monday?
Sunday or Monday, so it's either we start on the first day or we start on Monday and have our last PSA on May 4th.
Which is Sunday. So I like Sunday because people are still home too, they got more time relaxed to.
Sunday
maybe-
to Saturday.
Okay.
And then,
Sunday to
yeah.
Saturday. Mhm.
I like it like that, or
Yeah.
it's up to you guys.
Sunday's good.
So do we want just it on social media, or do we also want to fund it?
Well, as being the older one in this group, I want to say that you could put it on KUN. Those of us who are, no.
As long as it's old school first, we're glad.
They don't put us in
I
a-
know, that's why I'm bringing it up, like,
Yeah.
'cause, you know, they like to say
You
it,
did- let's bring it out to a wider
don't know.
Yeah.
But they'll see KUN.
So, put it out on television.
They look great. I agree.
This our article,
I like
the one in the
that
post.
KUN.
Yours is
Just
recommended. And I go, I didn't even know.
The great thing about it being on
Post it.
television.
I get the
is
phone.
you get metrics,
Oh,
like
shoot.
how many people tuned in
Like,
and
yeah,
saw
the
the
paper,
message.
Yeah.
We
The
can-
phone.
we can see that.
That's the point, just to share it under social media.
But it's on yours,
So the
But
other
it is
teachers-
on the, you know,
Oh,
all this,
Sorry, this, yes,
online,
I'm talking
Yeah,
about
no,
the-
I
Yeah.
never, I never
Yeah.
know. I didn't know I
But they
could
could
do
share
that.
this.
I just have actual physical.
Yeah.
It's like a schooling.
Yeah.
I'm just that. I'm finished.
We'll have
But
Johnny
have
send that.
post on the
Did you have
computer,
like
never really
the
went
name?
Oh, wow,
On the
guys.
No,
video?
I'm waiting-
Yeah.
waiting on
They send
the
it like,
details on-
like my
for
brother
the-
and my friend, they
The
all post
educator
those
symposium, it's just, I just
things.
put our logo.
Yeah.
And then
That's all
put
I
it.
Catch it,
Yeah.
like, again, you won't catch it any other way. but
And then,
online.
do you wanna add
Yeah,
captions
yeah.
for social media?
Yeah.
Only
you
when
can
people
add-
send those things
We
like
can
that.
add
Yeah.
it, can we do it
Oh,
automatically
oh, I
on
see it.
Instagram,
No,
like
it's
it'll
like-
automatically add
You know,
the
like.
caption?
Whoever has
Yeah, and I know,
And you can-
that's me.
I can check Final Cut on the-
But now, like, if I
Check
was
it.
gonna
Oh,
open
yeah,
it, where's the
Spotify
logo?
does it. Adobe.
You know, so unless it's like.
Adobe
Yeah.
does it.
But I know it's not like
Yeah.
that.
Adobe
I-
Premiere.
I've never done it, so I can pick it up.
So they have two
Sure does it.
versions, if I'm not mistaken, online. One is like the regular daily paper,
Yeah,
format.
I'm-
But Final Cut has like a lot of
And then one
songs
is,
that you can use. So it'd be like local food, yeah.
I can get that in one video.
But the problem that you have with that kind that you select is you can miss things, if you're not interested.
Right, right.
in seeing it.
But on the other one, you're
Yeah.
forced to, eight.
You scroll through it and you see things, so, you
Okay.
know, that's it.
Alright, so we gotta approve the draft.
So, yeah, just send me.
Okay.
Okay.
Do it.
We all got pretty excited right there.
Okay.
That was fun. That was fun.
Live news.
Alright, what am I, so I think that's pretty good, and we don't really need, unless we can have a motion to have the PSAs aired on social media and television. And do we want prime time or news? Cause I think news is the more viewed.
Yeah, news time.
For the
What's prime time?
cable one, or is it
Prime
for?
time is like, when people watch television, just for the shows, probably.
Oh.
Like 7 a.m. I
Like a
think.
commercial.
The
Like
Prime
the old
time.
school
But
commercials.
news is
Yeah.
during the news,
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
6 o'clock news.
Okay, yeah,
I think during the news.
all right.
What are your input, what's your input?
So, sir,
So you
I
make a
make the
motion?
motion that we go ahead and put out these
Yes,
PSAs, both televised with during the news time, as well as on social media platforms.
A second.
okay, no discussion, no dissent, without objection, so move.
Yay,
Okay.
a star is born.
So those on the social media, are they like always on it once they're up? Like
Yeah,
that?
it's
And you
there
just
for-
search for that no
Yeah,
matter what?
but it shows on the story, we want it on the story, the post, and then Facebook.
Yes. Everywhere.
And then what we were saying, Johnny, was if you know, you can get the teachers to say, hey, when it comes out, forward it on, so, cause that's what we do,
Yeah.
everyone just
Yeah,
share.
yeah.
I will send it to my friends back in the States.
Yes, see, that's the way it goes around.
So if it's on the story, it's not necessarily in the post?
Not necessarily,
It's so.
It's on both, so the story is the vertical, and then that's why I make both, so
Yeah.
that you can put it on your timeline, the video. will-
because the story is only there for 24 hours, your post is there permanently.
Yeah. So when they look on our Facebook or whatever, it'll just be on
Yeah,
the state.
You can see the whole thing?
yeah.
Now, how about if it goes away in 24 hours, you put a thing again, the
They
story?
could, well, they're gonna do the next day, they're gonna do the next PSA, but then but in the post, it stays there all the time.
That'd
So
be cool if we do
then
it
you can go
daily
back,
too on
yeah.
On the
social media.
story?
Yeah,
So what will happen is KUAM will post it on their social media.
yes, and that would
which has a
also
large
show, yeah.
Following, and then it's like our invasive species video,
Yeah.
KUAM posted it, added us as a collaborator. And then we had like over 20,000 views.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
And NAC, they added NAC.
Ooh, yes,
Wow.
make sure they have any.
yeah, dude, I'm telling you,
DOE.
Oh, yes.
we're like getting well known for producing our videos. The two invasive species, last year and this year, and then, what was that? Did the other one, right?
Do we hit #1 of both videos that we did? Aries One Water, and Aries One Water was the #1 video in the. And
So,
then,
yeah,
Awesome.
the invasive species, they,
invasive species was the only one.
Wesley said that, that was the, what was it?
We're the only one that's.
The highest,
Okay, so run days will be Sunday.
viewed
to
ever.
Monday. I didn't
Also,
put
it
that
beat
in
Aries
my
then it beat
motion.
Aries.
well, I don't
Because
know.
Aries was the year before, the
Yeah,
One
yeah.
Water, and that one was #1, but there was a lot that. posted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously. Every time they bring it up, they always say, hey, wow, good job with that. They really,
What else is happening for
so
Stewardship?
good.
Okay,
Yeah.
she,
Okay, so
next-
moving on to the anti stewardship scholarship, we are having such great feedback and response, so I think Dr. Dilla told me the other day, the day before yesterday, there was already 8 submissions, so we need to establish a review committee for the applications, and we have a very tight deadline, right? The deadline for them, the cutoff is April 28th. We need to get the review done and do the selection to notify, so that way they can attend the gala.
Yeah,
there.
to
And
receive their award.
oh, that's tight,
that
because the
is
gala's
right.
May 3rd, right?
Right.
So
Do we have any volunteers?
from the 28th to the 3rd, how many submissions do we have as of today?
Well, I don't know about
But as of today, we don't have the update.
When are we gonna start reviewing it?
After the 28th, right?
Yeah, so the 29th, we probably start reviewing and reading these.
Oh,
things.
so,
Do we have some kind
So-
of a rubric or some kind of a?
Yeah, there's a guideline for them.
what are we gonna do as far as a board or selection?
Well, I know Dr. Jola,
And-
will be a part of it,
And then Director Yvonne just says she would.
okay, and then, Vice Chair, did you want to?
How many do we need? Do we need?
At least
I
three.
think three.
It
Okay,
needs to be enough.
I'll help you.
I abstain because I think I might know people.
How long is this thing again? Was that how many words?
1,000 words, no more.
Yeah, And there were 5 questions, they had to select which one they wanted to respond to.
Oh, shoot. That might be, that'll be one evening.
Okay,
We'll
so
hang
the
out together.
Dr.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, shoot.
Okay,
Go ahead,
demo
Angie.
farm, I think we've already covered that.
Yep.
The
I have a
joint chief-
question. Really quickly, what is cause if you're gonna be outdoors, what are you supposed to wear?
Outdoors for the demo farm?
Yeah, is it just like shoes?
Yeah, like
What?
just think like you're
You're
gonna be farming, yeah.
Okay,
Tired.
so it's
Yeah.
outside,
Sunscreen,
nothing
formal
inside.
Nope, nothing inside.
So
Bahaki.
2 hours.
Yeah.
inside.
Formal Bahaki.
Is there gonna be a canopy?
Yes,
We're bringing our
but
pop-up.
bring,
Oh, pop up.
yeah, bring your personal fan.
Bring water,
Bring a hat.
bring water, bring
It's been
gloves.
really hot outside. these
Dude, it's been
days.
hot, dude, yeah,
It's
it's been really hot.
All right.
I
so
think
funny. I know people who play golf.
We're planting bananas, donut, and 3 papayas in.
Yeah.
So 3 rows of planting. 80 foot long rows,
Planting,
yeah,
wow.
we're planting, so but whatever the community that shows up is kind of the idea too, those. That's the idea, it's the community, but we're gonna demonstrate what that garden is supposed to look like. And then up on the canopy, we're gonna build that tomorrow, the nursery, so tomorrow afternoon.
Right.
And then at least build it up and then put the main stuff there, but then that would be the unveiling would be on Saturday. Like how they have their seedlings and how they're supposed to, maybe they could plant seeds, you know, in the trays.
The canopy, you're talking about the greenhouse?
Yeah, the greenhouse. So Mark's providing a bunch of trays and potting mix and stuff, other than some seedlings. But they could, again, that would be up to us if we wanna have them plant seeds and then that would start us, and their system would be able to sprout it in the next whatever weeks. So,
Exciting. Yeah, so, definitely need support on Thursday,
mhm,
Sherman,
yeah,
Chair, I think
that's tomorrow.
that's me too. That's tomorrow.
That's the one.
Tomorrow
tomorrow.
afternoon. to
I'll
help set.
I'll be there when I get off work, but.
Less than 24 hours, cause it's only 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, Bahaki.
Yeah.
Who's providing the
Like,
refreshments?
Jared, can you
From
stand?
the mayor.
We talked about this earlier.
I know when I came in, she said she didn't want to get clear close to me, said she just came from the field. Yeah.
So like that, right?
Just model the Bahaki thing for tomorrow.
Bahaki, but cute.
Oh, my Bahaki.
You guys know me, my Bahaki is also my downtown coast too, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, now we're to the
Okay,
joint chief.
Yeah.
so the Joint Chief Landscape Restoration Partnership application, we've already went over that. So yeah, Jay, we are really trying to get people in. Again, Maddie will be posted down in Molesio and Alahan Telefoco on Monday and Tuesday. Weaving workshop by our generational.
You missed this one.
Oh, the Guam local, yeah, the Guam local working group meeting we'll discuss further, but it is part of our stewardship week activities. So who will be attending the Guam local working group?
Is that starting at 9 though? There's some, what's at?
There's a Guam Sentinel Landscapes Partnership meeting in which we are supporting as part of our REFI initiative, so if you can attend that, that would be amazing.
Okay.
And
But for
that's
sure, I
at
can
9.
do the 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is going to be lunch provided, and that's sponsored by the Guahan Sentinel Landscapes Partnership event. They're sponsoring the venue so we can host our local working group. And then we'll cost share with the North, to support the networking activity from 5 to 6.
Okay.
We did revise the agenda that was proposed, so you'll see that in your packet. Really just kind of to sum it up, the whole objective of the local working group is to review the 2024 priorities to see if anything has changed. Jay will be providing an update as to what has been accomplished since the last local working group and how NRCS has supported those priorities that we've determined. We will also be providing a report out as to what we have accomplished since the last local working group.
Yeah,
So, I mean, we did our action planning session and we have a various, so I'll be working on that report. We will be uniformed with the North, as I stress that is important, we should be on this kind of having the same similar report style. And reporting out to what has been accomplished to date and not what we plan to accomplish, because that's later on.
right.
So we will have a breakout session for the groups to review the priorities in their tables, and then we'll take a break. Then we'll have a presentation of the initiatives that were proposed in the Guam Long Range Plan. Director Yvonne and I have been working on updating our Guam Long Range Plan for the Southern District activities, but all it was our initiatives that we've developed from in January. So I'll be sending that out to you for your review and input. But let me know if that agenda is okay. I think it's important to not have to rehash exactly the same thing we did, because it's the same people.
Right.
We should be talking about what has happened and then focus on developing the initiatives. There is going to be a new membership orientation at 30 minutes prior to the start. So at 1:30, if you haven't attended a local working group, will be available to kind of brief individuals to learn about what the soil water districts are, what the local.
And what,
working group-
yeah,
What is NRCS, at least that, so we're not having to,
in the meeting.
so new member orientation. John is our lead too on this, so did you have any input?
Just research, I think it was gonna.
Okay, all right.
Sorry.
I have an emergency. I'm gonna zoom in, for my report,
Okay.
but, my parents' car broke down, so I have to call.
Okay.
But I'm gonna call in for, cause I'm next.
Okay.
So I'll
Okay.
run.
There.
Drive safe.
Yeah, be careful.
Yeah.
So does the board have any input in terms of that agenda? Do you think that's okay?
Yeah.
All right, okay, great. So we're working with Sav. Sav, we're working with them to get it going. So we've been working all day, yeah.
It's backed by popular demand. That'll be
Of
at 5
course.
o'clock here. Right now, I'm feeling I should be able to provide the lease, but if I need help, I'll let you know at least a day,
Yeah.
2 days before.
Like how many?
Depending on how many participants, although we're capping it at 12, kind of, it's hard to do one-to-one with a big group.
Yeah.
But we'll see, that we're also partnering that one with the lady that wants to talk about her beehives,
Mhm.
right?
Yes, her,
So
So-
it's gonna be 2 things going on at that time.
And where's this at again?
Just same as last time, right back, where are we at here?
the
Yeah,
courtyard.
the
Oh,
courtyard,
yeah.
just right outside. Yeah, we'll put up the canopy that says Southern Lawn.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm debating, I'm thinking I was gonna do baskets, but I really loved doing my ketupa weaving and we got to eat after that,
Yeah.
so I feel like we should
Oh,
make
you
ketupa.
cooked in it?
Oh, yeah, I
Oh,
make
yeah.
cut in manuk and then
What did you put?
cut in manuk. And then I put
Inside the
ketupa.
ketupa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Good idea.
uh,
You put
That sounds good.
shrimp?
Even,
You could put a shrimp in
Whatever we
there.
want, we can, that's
Yeah,
so
you
good.
can
Like,
And
maybe we should
Advertise
cook.
Did you, what's your seasoning like? Do you season everything?
For my cut in manuk with
Well,
coconut
you
milk.
know, like, I tried using a sea salt like that
Ah.
and shrimp and,
Nice. I've never made it with shrimp.
yeah.
Just with cut in
it's
manuk.
good, it's good.
The other way I make it is with, what is it? Just boiling the ketupa with chicken stock. Very.
Oh, yeah,
flavorful.
yeah,
Thanks.
yeah.
So
You can
nice.
do almost
Yeah,
anything,
anything.
yeah.
Whatever your katu is, you can make.
You know,
Cut in
I
manuk.
was expert at that stuff. My cousin, Victor and Joe and the farmers up there,
Yeah, see?
his sisters,
Oh.
they're
No,
that, yeah,
they-
that's where I learned that.
Make the ketupa rice.
Yeah,
Okay, man, I'm hungry.
Okay, we're doing
Okay,
that.
so anyway, yeah, so that's at 5 o'clock because it's been so hot. And
We're bringing our pop-up tents,
Yeah.
so just let me know whatever surprise.
It'd be good to put lemongrass in there.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, I love lemongrass.
Lemongrass with the ketupa.
I think everyone should come with their pot and their ingredients and I'll make the ketupa rice and everyone can, then we'll sample each other's and it'll
yeah,
be like
yeah,
cutting
there
night.
you go. Then we'll vote.
Oh, yeah, then we'll vote, we'll have, yeah. I think they're all gonna be winners, man, those sound good.
Yeah.
All right, but anyway, that's,
Thank
Yeah.
you for leading that workshop. It's always so nice. Okay, so we're at the gala portion in which, a lot of them you will read to yourself
mhm,
quietly. Because
yeah, we don't wanna say it
we
out
don't
loud.
wanna announce our winners of but these are our recommendations, so. First and foremost, the gala is happening at the Dusitani from 5 to 10. All the invites, it is, invitation, registration required. Of course, if people are interested, they can inquire with us to see if there's space.
Yeah.
We did put together the program, in which you have in your packet. So if you have any questions regarding that, I think we all have a role.
Mhm.
So chairman has a role. Vice chair, you have a role in presenting. I think you'll be covering down on the farmer of the year, junior farmer of the year, and conservation farmer of the year.
Mhm.
Director Vaughn, you'll be doing the recap of all of the stewardship activities and the PSAs, because that's kind of the lead that you took, and then Director Marty, of course, with the guests.
Mhm.
And then, Dr. Dula will be handling the scholarships announcements. Johnny and Day are our MCs for the night.
Because they did such an awesome job at the. This is how we reward you, make you do it all over again.
And then, Maddie and Jer will definitely, hospitality is
Yes.
important.
Yeah.
And then John's our tech guy.
Yep.
So I think we have everything kind of set up. We have our honorary guest speakers confirmed. And there will be a resolution as well.
Yeah, the
Presented.
legislative resolution.
Formal island wear.
Yes, formal, island, is that formal?
Island formal.
Island formal.
Island formal.
Probably like something like this.
Which is like,
Yeah.
like you're in
Really,
church, but.
yeah, yeah.
Up if you want.
Like brush our hair.
Right. You wear your Hawaiian print, but instead of with shorts, wear it with pants.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And instead of stories, wear shoes. That's formal. Yeah. No.
You're
slippers.
halfway there.
Yeah, you're halfway there, sir.
Island,
If I had a
Island
formal
casual.
island wear.
We're suggesting
Or
black.
black with flowers in
And
your
an
hair.
accent.
We can, that's,
All black. and an
Okay, I
accent.
think just like formal,
yeah,
pretty much.
yeah. Okay,
Black
got it.
is formal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
so, you can review the program, and if you have any questions, please let me know. We'd like to send out the program to our, confirmed attendees no later than Monday, so that they can prepare. Also, we are needing to approve our farmer of the year, junior farmer of the year, conservation partner of the year. They are listed in the packet, so if you agree, let's agree.
Yeah, I agree. Make a
Yeah, no
motion
names.
to,
No names.
make a motion to approve it?
Yes.
Make a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve our farmer of the year, our junior farmer of the year, and our conservation partner of the year.
Second.
Yeah, as listed.
As
here.
printed in the
As
original.
No
printed. I
objection?
second it. Yeah.
Okay. No objection, so
Yeah.
moved.
So do we, of course, we would have to notify the farmer and junior farmer of the year to ensure that they show up, but I already know our partner of the year will show up. Should we have this as a surprise, or should our partner of the year be informed? Like a surprise?
And
I don't have to see it.
Yeah.
I know that.
Maybe for the.
I think a surprise is better.
I like
It's just what I don't know is if like they don't know that,
Then they don't
will they not show?
So-
Does
That's the only
NACD
concern.
keep it-
What was that?
NACD, when they submit their president.
Oh,
on the
yeah, we
warrant,
do.
it's a surprise.
You can
Remember?
just let them know
Yeah.
you have been nominated. So please come to,
Yeah.
like, let them think that we invited every
Okay.
nominee.
Yeah.
Remember, see, what's his name? New Mexico was crying. Remember, he didn't even recognize.
Right.
remember?
But with this one, already
Let's
really.
keep it as
Hey, Jim
surprise.
Berlier.
Yeah, keep everything
Yeah.
on
He
surprise.
won that.
In Utah?
But don't,
Yeah,
but
man,
for
that's
your
my
part, you don't need to
man,
say
yeah.
you nominate.
You want them to
Okay,
cross?
just say you're.
No, but I mean, it's more meaningful when
Oh,
they're,
yeah.
you don't
But
know,
these
you know.
two,
and-
let them know.
Yeah.
But they
you
knew they had to be
nominate
there because they were
okay.
already nominated.
Okay.
And the winner will be announced in this night. Please
Right,
come and
man.
join
Yeah.
us for the announcement.
Yeah, so he got number five. Yeah, one of your, that's one of our early.
Okay.
Dude, that guy. in that
Anyways,
yeah.
one-
Yeah, okay.
Sitting on the couch like that.
We like
In
surprises.
the lobby.
Yeah, I
one
agree.
fire.
Okay, not
I
nominated.
saw him
Yeah.
from far, but they were talking.
All right,
Dude,
Anyway,
I saw
so-
him just be like,
we'll go
How
ahead.
about,
Yeah.
or just one thing, we have our DV tables, right,
Yeah.
set up?
Or what?
Or our designated or VIP
I
table.
need to know that the Lieutenant Governor's office did ask, and I think it would be good if we
Yeah.
already kind of had that mapped out.
Yeah,
Where
Senator,
What's that?
the mapping chart, the seating chart.
Our dignitary, where
Yeah,
our.
because we would like to have all our
Yeah.
graduates together. Or no, I don't know.
Yes,
Or
like
we don't care.
reserved.
Definitely the VIP people then.
Yeah.
The ones that need to be close to the stage because they're gonna be walking up there. To do their speech or presentation.
Okay. All right. So we'll work on that
Yeah.
because I do need to get that information to the Lieutenant Governor, but we also need to know for ourselves.
Okay.
And then each of our teachers, all of our teachers are scholarship awardees, and as well as our farmer partner of the year will be receiving a plaque in which we are working with the G3 Makerspace.
Yeah.
Trophy. That's of our logo. It's their keepsake. All right, that's it. I think we got through the gala, the stewardship week stuff. Thank you. To the board.
Exciting. Thank you.
So moving on to the local.
Good job, yeah. Local working group.
Mhm.
Just as discussed, but of course, we want to make sure that the board is in agreement to support the networking event with the Northern District from 5 to 6.
Mhm.
And we already agreed that the agenda is good.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so that's it for local working group.
Okay,
Jera, just.
feral swine. Okay.
Jara, you good?
Yeah, how's my volume? Can you guys hear me?
Very
Yes.
good.
Loud and clear.
Okay, great.
Jinx.
Okay, I'm just gonna do a quick update. So we received a total number of 47 applications since the deadline of our program deadline. And so right now the team is undergoing application processing. So that is with Johnny. Johnny's been supportive with that. I'm doing a little bit of that in the front end as we receive the applications during the outreach. And also Maddie has been helping us on obtaining information with NRCS, any historical maps or anybody already in their system. She's been helping out with that. Also really helpful. I'm really grateful for Jay. He's been really helpful in guiding us through this process. You know, we're providing capacity support to NRCS, but he's also guiding us in understanding their process so that we can really make this program up to standard. And so we are currently conducting site visits. Joe Takaro and I have been conducting site visits. And also Maddie came with us today. We have a total of 3 environmental assessments that were accomplished. And John is going to be fully creating maps for this entire project. So everyone is really playing a team, you know, everybody's working as a team in this job, in this project, and I'm really grateful for everyone's support, however big or small. So site assessments will continue aggressively and be well underway until July. So that's just a really big accomplishment, I think, for the program right now. Additionally, we have accomplished the planning phase of the project through the Feral Swine Committee. And that would include the program guidelines and the outreach portion. And so thanks to the Feral Swine Committee and also the board, our outreach efforts have reached a total of 47 applicants. And now that we are in the implementation phase of the project, we will no longer need to meet as a Feral Swine Committee. And we will now be reaching out to create a smaller selection committee that will be convening to review and approve the applications once we get to that part of the program. One more announcement. We're so grateful and wanted to congratulate, Mr. Joe Takaro for officially being on board with us as an extension agent. His knowledge for, of course, environmental assessments, all things NRCS, and the fence specifications is very valuable to our team, and we're just so grateful that he's finally on board in an official capacity. And lastly, we are continuing conducting on-the-job training for the district staff that are, part of their goal is to become official planners. And so they can do all of the site visits and whatnot for NRCS programs. So as Joe and I conduct environmental assessments, John and Maddie will be able to, join in and observe when they have the time. And that's just like a nice way for the district staff to build capacity on their own as we move through this feral swine project. But Joe and I are going to move forward, and we are at the point of being able to effectively conduct environmental assessments separately, so we can really quickly get these 47 applications, the site assessments done for these applicants. And, we want to help as many of them as possible who have all of the land documents submitted. Then we can, really process everyone with Joe and I doing these assessments as a team. And so next week we're going to be starting for training Section 7 endangered species and Section 106 cultural resources training for creating those maps that are needed for the environmental assessment will be happening next week. And so John and I, this is tentative, so we're hoping to have that done next week. Jay is going to go over the mapping, how to create those maps specifically, so that when we send them off to the federal agencies, U.S. Fish and Wildlife and SHPO, State Historic Preservation Office, they are proper, and there's just a way that NRCS creates the maps, and we're going to be learning about that next week. And so, yeah, we have a lot happening. And that's basically it. That's the feral swine project.
Wow, what great updates.
Thank you.
Thank you and for supporting the success of this project. Just to reiterate what Jara was saying is, yes, it is our priority to build the capacity, the planning capacity of our technical staff. So definitely John and Maddie, and eventually our other two associates. When these training events are happening, it's critical to attend when you can, especially John and Maddie. I know you both have different projects and you're under different grants, but the goal is the same, to build our capacity and understand the planning aspect of development of conservation plans, so. That's just so you guys are aware, but Jared's doing a good job in scheduling those, so.
Jared, when are you guys going back out again to do your?
To do additional environmental assessments.
Yeah, or the culture or whatever.
Yeah, so all of the environmental assessment is including the endangered species and the cultural resources, the artifacts basically. So we're going to be scheduling, I'm hoping to schedule continuing next week. So we got 2 done this week, and I'm hoping to schedule more every week, at least 4 and up. So there's going to be a lot of site visits happening in the next few weeks, into July, the beginning of July.
Okay, so, no, the reason why I was asking, I wanna go along on some of those. Just to, experience that and know what you guys are looking for and all that, just. I wanna be a part of that, actually, at least some of it.
Thank you, because that was one of the dreams of the district, is to be conservation planner once all the directors.
Yeah, that's true.
I
Yeah,
guess we
so
can do it ourselves.
is this training open to us as well?
No, we asked JB for that since Tahoe, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Is this conservation planning training open? I mean, for
Actually,
this
no.
specific,
Since New Orleans.
it's our training for, right? But
And I know the last time we had an opportunity to, we were gonna send Director Martha Tenorio to Hawaii with the staff that we sent with Jenna Lynn in the north, and it wasn't for directors,
Yeah,
which was kind of contradictory to what we were looking and asking for since New Orleans. Annual meeting, so yeah, we could follow that up, maybe one of those stack meetings or something, I don't know.
We tried.
that's true, the staff.
Or we could have something like, train the trainer. If they have something like that and train the trainer.
They can come back and train us.
Yeah, anyways, okay.
We'll definitely follow up, because the conservation planning boot camp, if you will, that is
Yeah.
still definitely something we're trying to get
Yeah.
going for this town.
Well, we did the, what is it called, the, partnership training, whatever, and what is it? I can't remember the
NCP, the
acronym.
national.
NCPP, when we did that in Minnesota, they showed us they no longer did the boot camp, but it was all online modules. I think that's what you guys did for your JE, I think. But that was to become level 2, definitely level 1. And so it wasn't the boot camp anymore, and then level 2. So we brought this up to JB to say, hey, we want all our directors to be knowledgeable about conservation planning. And so he goes, no, JB was the one that said, no, I want you guys to be level 3 directors, right? So
Yeah.
that way we understand
Yeah.
things that Jay and and our CS office has to go through. So we're one in hand with conservation plans.
yeah.
So I don't know, we probably just have to follow up with that, but yeah.
Definitely, because I know that there was discussions about having a planning some sort of training in like June,
Yeah.
July times. We'll see.
And then he mentioned definitely doing the stack meetings or something, so we just gotta. We'll see.
Good discussion, so I guess we will. I guess need to decide on the selection committee, in which we'll work with Dr. Dilla and Jared, who will be a part of that. To review the
Yeah,
applications.
Yeah, we don't have JA, we don't have JA.
Our staff is Jay.
Yeah, our staff, yeah, they all got JA, wow. That's awesome.
Okay, so
Fresh, everybody.
I think that's it, unless the board has any other questions.
Nope. We're good. Okay. Thanks, Jara.
Good job, Jara.
Thank you,
Jared.
Hope your parents are okay.
Yeah, let us know if you need something after the meeting, we can run up there. If you need a hand.
Okay, thank you.
So the next one would be number 9. Collateral boards and committees served.
Unless the board directors have reported or sat in any NECD subcommittees, I haven't heard anything further since the last. Just, I know we talked about clarifying with President Gary on what exactly are we supposed to be doing since we heard different things.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I saw what the update was, which was yeah, it wasn't everybody, it wasn't all the staff and everybody would be in the
From the
committee.
executive
Yeah.
meeting, right?
And then we met with Gary too out there, in DC, so, what we have is the ones that sitting in place was last time was, I know Director Yvonne was still in where she was at, Director Dula is
Yeah.
invasive species. We are not in legislative because he
Yeah.
asked us to, I'm sorry, we're not in natural resources, but we are in legislative, and I think,
So
yeah,
you're in that.
I'm in that, well, he wanted Guam in it, so I guess, but my name was what was there with Joe Santos. And then, we have other, but you attended, I think you guys attended the meeting for me, that first one I didn't, because I didn't get the email, right?
Yeah, we attended that. too.
Yeah, you guys attended it, I think last month,
Yes.
I didn't, yeah.
Yes, so we did attend, had updates.
Yeah. So Gary's whole point was, he wanted Guam in there because that's where most of the action happens, and Guam's very involved, and he wanted us in the involved stuff. So, and I was with him in natural resources, because he was the chair of the natural resources, and yeah, so he was like asking, did I want to still be in? I said, sure, but then when in Utah, he asked me to
To go in.
move over to legislative. Yeah, so whatever the last update was, it's been emailed to us, it's this, which was what we said was keep the people that were in there, and then switch us over from natural resources to legislative. That's all I could remember. And when I saw the update, that's what it was. So Katrina in the north was still in the committee she was in. And I think that was it. Other than Dula, Yvonne, were you in the subcommittee or no, right? Okay. I think that was it. But Ari, you should have that. You should have that.
Are you?
They know I'm a busy woman.
But Director Bond, you're still receiving notices from NECD? Okay,
Yes.
good. Well, yes.
For the.
So, okay, but
You're on the water or something,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Water. Dula's invasive.
is Mark Masters with you in that?
Who's chairing it? And yours is a standing committee, right? It's not a sub.
Let me see, Mark Masters.
No,
Keep chairing it.
who's the chair for that?
The last I got was from April 2nd. Let's see. We're still finding a time. So Nika Colley, she sent it.
Oh,
Sure.
Nika.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, she was in the executive meeting.
so it's between
Nika Colley.
Libby.
I don't know.
Libby like Libby.
Yeah, so Libby was doing a lot of the correspondence before. I don't see Mark. You said Mark?
Okay, no, that's okay.
Every Libby, that's her name.
That's Libby, yeah. We have like the long conversation with Libby. Add that
Breakfast
to our
name?
highlights.
We both were like,
Yeah.
yeah, everyone say, that's our name.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we said two other names. Okay,
Okay, sorry.
yeah,
Um,
but refer to the updated listing. I know it's,
okay,
and it was what we had thought.
okay, so we'll just continue to represent for sure on legislative
Yeah.
session.
Yeah, just go. So I did have our executive board this morning, and I mentioned already about yeah, from the president to do send a video message to us for our gala.
Yeah.
And hopefully that's something that will spread throughout the rest of the country, but let me see. That's the big thing, I think, for the executive board. I did do the invasive species. Glenn Dula was on the meeting also. Let me see real quickly. So remember that feral swine eradication pilot program?
The back,
The one that we didn't know about?
the one that, and, yeah.
Yeah,
Wait, which I don't remember that one.
yeah.
There was
Well,
an eradication program in which.
pilot program.
Pilot state.
10 states.
Oh, I remember that.
Wasn't-
Yes, we were not at the table, so to speak.
Yeah.
I remember that. That was my first meeting in Chicago,
Well,
2021.
Rollin was in,
Yeah.
doing that, I think that was in the days back then, but. Yeah, we weren't aware until we were San Antonio, right? Yeah, and then, you know, it was too late for us to
Yeah.
put in on that thing.
I remember.
But, you know, we really stress that, you know, the islands and Guam particularly with our huge invasive feral swine issues should have been a pilot, part of that pilot program, right, to
Mhm.
study it. So anyways, there is a bill going to, it's at the Senate
Oh,
already, to make it run for 5 more years, I think, or something. And, there's a big chunk of change that's gonna go with that.
but then could we be added?
Yeah, no, that's the plan.
That's the plan,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, when I mentioned that, you know, and I mentioned about us, who was there, Wesley and a bunch of others were all in agreement. They're nodding that we had, you know, so.
We should have.
So
always
that thing
been-
should be going through, Senate Bill 1207, I think it is. Which amended to amend the 2018 Farm Bill to allow that thing to go through, yeah. To make it more permanent program. And they're allotting a $75 million for that. So if that thing goes, it's on its way, or it's already at the Senate. That's a big,
So are we applying? Who applies for it?
No, that's what I was wondering, if they're gonna do that, can we be amended to add, because if that was already the 10 states already.
no, but it's expanded. It's expanded.
Through APHIS, right?
I'm sorry?
APHIS would get the funding? For eradication,
Probably, right?
right, and so we don't have to do, like.
Yeah.
The local contribution.
Well, see, if it was.
I don't know, we'll see, we have to let's look up this
The bill, look
bill
up
and
the
let's
bill.
see what it says.
Cause if it was identified as a pilot program,
Yeah.
then typically where if there already been in those 10 states, if I'm not but yeah, let's just look at
Let's
the
look at-
bill, look at the bill.
And then, so the next, round, for invasive species is play clean or go. That's gonna be the next for invasive species. So like, you go to a farm, you sanitize yourself going in, sanitize yourself going out, right? You go fishing in a boat in a river or lake or whatever. You pull it out, you sanitize your boat, you know, all that kind of stuff. That's what it's all about, right? So you're preventing invasive species from spreading it from one place, like, especially in the States, right? You're in a lake in Texas and you pick up something there and you go up to Montana and you know, so that's the reason for all of that. But even on your farm, even your neighbor's farm and all that.
Tractor
know,
borrowing, tractor borrowing.
Yeah, when I was in Philippines, we went to Dole Farms, right, the plantations for bananas and pine. And every little plot that you go in, cause all their bananas plots are barricaded. They use a bamboo perimeter fencing where you can't just walk in any which way. There's a control point, right? And then they have this big mat thing down
To
there.
clean your
that's-
feet?
Yeah, it's saturated with
Disinfectant.
yeah, some kind of thing that you step into that. Yeah. And you go in and then when you're coming out, you do the same thing, you step on that thing going out. So that you're not carrying anything into or out of the area, so that's the whole point of that, preventing the spread. Cause on Guam, Dundon, back in the 80s, became a really bad place to go with your tractor, cause there were so many farm and no control and pests were.
And people didn't always spray down their
Really, really bad. I wouldn't even drive my tractor in there. Cause you don't wanna pick up something and bring it to like
Your
my
farm,
farm like
yeah.
that. So a lot of times they would ask something, I was like, no, I'm not going, yeah. We didn't want, because we didn't wanna bring it, cause they were suffering in the late 80s and 90s, they were, what do they call it, the blots, right, the one.
Yeah, bacterial food blots.
Yeah, and all these different things was just. So, yeah, on Guam, it was really bad. And now that they let it sit fallow for how many years, it's really good in there. I planted several fields in there and I didn't spray at all. Yeah, not even, nothing, so. Yeah, because it's not like before, right?
Right, so eggplant, here we
So-
come.
so yeah. Yeah, really. And then Wesley also mentioned our video
You brought it up again?
Yeah, they like that video, they like our video, and it's like tops, you know. So we're good, yeah,
Good.
and that's it for me for the.
Thank you, executive board member.
So, yeah. Too many meetings.
Nice, yeah.
Okay, where we at?
X10.
10, board correspondence. Do we have anything at this point?
No.
Good, okay,
Not at
moving
this
on.
moment, but if we do, I will let you know if I miss it.
Oh, real quick, back up on that, because the committees and the collateral boards was the, I know that last time you guys asked me to be the rep for the UST stack meeting.
Right,
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't attend the first one because I was off island. I think, Director Yvonne,
yes. Did
so
you get a notice?
I got a notice of for the meeting, but remember I was off island. So I was just saying on the next ones, I don't know if am I still gonna be receiving those notice? When are those meetings? I didn't know when those meetings are gonna be. Are they consistently like monthly or, you know?
Well, from what I understand, it's at least twice a year,
Oh,
but Jay, do you have any?
pretty consistent.
We haven't had one in a while, but I think you're right. Let me
Twice a year.
They don't. NRCS name.
Last one was in January,
January.
let's see.
yeah,
that's
see,
why I
so
was wondering. I knew like a couple months passed and I was like, I haven't gotten anything yet, so I
So
wasn't
that's why
sure.
maybe, because it hasn't been 6 months.
Yeah, is it twice in a
See
year
what
or
the
every
next
6
one
months?
is.
yeah, I think it's every let's see.
Biannual.
Sorry, I just didn't want to be like missing it and then I'm not aware, so that's why. I
No,
was
if
wondering.
you were, I think if you were already in the email chain, they're gonna send it again to you.
Okay.
Did
just
you?
see.
Yeah.
I need to double
I have a
check on
contact.
how often.
I have a contact person too, if you have questions. Well, you have the
Yeah, is it
same.
Nick Schwamwaber?
It was January
Yeah.
28th was the other, it was Corey Hishishima that was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the State Technical Advisory Committee.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I was just wanting to follow up to make sure I'm just not missing if they were like monthly and, you know, something like that, because I missed the first one, that's why.
Next meeting's August 2025.
Okay, are some of those people still there in that Hawaii office?
Yeah, I think most people are.
I think, I don't know, I think it was Corey that was supposed to go with us to Samoa.
Oh yeah, so a lot of the travel is you know they need to be submitted, and it's not at I guess it's not at the state level anymore to be approved. That needs to be like national.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
at least they're still there though.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay,
thank you for that.
moving on, number 12, our next meeting,
Oh, no, number 11 first. sir.
11,
Yeah.
where, what?
Public
Oh,
comment.
public comment.
And announcements. I just have 3
Public
things.
comment?
Go for it.
First of all, on behalf of the board and the staff, I want to officially express our condolences to you for the passing of your brother, Mark.
Yeah.
I know last month was a very difficult time for you and your family, and you have been in our prayers. And so just to officially put that on the record that we, you know, we support you and we express
Thank
our
you for
humblest and deepest condolences to you and your family.
Thank you so much. That means a lot to me, you know, that,
real
and I'm so happy when I saw you guys there, that, that was.
The second thing is.
You
I-
notice I didn't talk to anybody
I
else
know.
when you guys were there.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just-
We kind of felt bad, we're like, okay, go get back to it.
My cousins and everything.
Yeah, no worries.
But,
We're there for you. Sir. We're a team, we're family too.
thank you.
The second thing is I wanted to commend our chair, Glenn Takai, when he was on the panel for, what was it? Supporting Solutions for a Future. This is in the CIS panel. He did such an amazing job of representing our district and sharing our solutions that we have been putting out to the public. And so he did an amazing job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, thank you so much.
And
Thank you
he
as
got to
well.
elaborate on all the things that his panel was a lot longer, so he got to really elaborate, which thank
Yeah.
God, because mine was just, we doing this, this and this, that's it. And then he came in the 3 days later and picked up on it and really elaborated, so it was really good,
Yeah.
well represented. And then
And it
the
was-
third one is Happy Earth Day to all of us. Viva Mother Earth. And
Then.
So, yeah, you know, I wanna say thank you to everybody here, staff and our directors, right, you know. I know we all have our specific duties and all that, but when it's time to step in and help each other, that's what we need. And for you guys in the staff, just realize that us board members, we're not being paid for anything that we do here. And so, you know, we're contributing good, you know, every one of us has so far been stepping in and being a big player in some way. And so I just want you guys to know that we're doing it too,
Yeah.
you know, not just you guys,
Yeah.
okay? So we're all doing things to help each other and accomplish our mission, our goal. So I really appreciate all of it. The more we help each other and stick together, the more success we will have going down the lane. So just let's keep it going. I know this coming week is gonna be very busy.
Stewardship.
Just a lot of that.
Nothing new,
you know,
nothing new, right?
Let's get through the stewardship week is like the big thing. So
Yeah.
once we get through that, it'll be a little bit more smooth sailing.
Yeah.
After that,
Mhm.
and all your stresses will go away.
But reach out
So,
to each
thank you,
other, reach out
everybody.
to us. We're all there to help each other.
Thanks, guys.
Yep,
Okay.
thanks everybody for pitching in, so. Okay,
Thank you, Chairman.
and thank you, I really appreciate your guys' thoughts, prayers, and being present there, so I really do appreciate that. That means something to me, so, okay. Okay, now we can do the next meeting.
Yeah, next meeting.
Do we have public comment online?
Any,
Oh,
Announcements?
so Savannah, you wanna say anything, Savannah? Or Jay, or
No, I'm okay. Thank you.
thank you for attending our meeting.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, you're always, always welcome.
I'm sad.
Yeah.
I don't have
Okay.
anything to add.
Thanks, Jay, for
Thanks, Jay.
sticking it out with us and
Yeah.
you Savannah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Magic.
okay,
Okay,
next meeting.
next meeting, Wednesday, May 14th. Same place, same time, right?
No, partner
Should be
meeting, so it's
partner.
probably gonna be downstairs.
Oh, partner meeting, oh yeah, okay, all right. Okay, so motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay.
Second.
Thank you.
6:18.
It's adjourned.
And the time is 6:18.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thanks, John, for the recording stuff.